talk to you a little bit about where I am after having had my Sisterlocks for 8 years. I hit the 8-year mark sometime during this summer, and this has been the best decision I've ever made. Would I make it again? Yes. Would I pay the same money again? Yes. Would I pay 2 times that amount? Yes. And you may be surprised to hear me say this. I would even pay 3 times that amount. Why? Because when I look at the result over time, the cost savings over time, the time savings over time, everything makes it worth it. And I could go into some of the real benefits of why it's worth it to pay for it, even though when you're faced with having to pay for it, it's like, what? But if you were literally trying to get these and they seemed too expensive and you had a plan and you had some delayed gratification and you weren't trying to rush to get them, then it wouldn't seem like such a financial, a huge investment. But anyway, I wanted to talk about today some of the things that I've learned, where I am in my journey. I'm going to try to keep it short. If it's too long, I'm going to do a part 2. So, thank you for being here with me. If this is your first time, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what you see already in terms of these locks. To my family members and those of you who have been subscribers since the beginning and throughout this journey, sending you much love, my beautiful butterflies and perfect people. I miss y'all. I miss y'all. I'm going to be working on trying to do more Sisterlock videos. I've been super good busy. Matter of fact, my book will be out in a couple of days. It is called Manifesting Your Masterpiece. It is self-coaching and daily mindset reflections for up-leveling and living your best life. As well, I have a Manifesting Money Magic journal for those of you who like to work on those aspects of manifesting wealth in your life. This should be out in a couple of weeks. And thirdly, 2 other sort of companion items, which I want you to be out on the lookout for, because if you are a member of this channel or a subscriber of this channel, I will give you a discount code that you can use to register that will give you a significant savings. I'm really super excited about my new release, my course launch for the Manifesting Money Magic course. Okay, it's called Manifesting Money Magic, 28 Days to Up-Leveling Your Money Mindset and Getting That Cash. This is a course that at the very least will allow you to manifest $1,000 or more within a 28-day period. It is a robust, jam-packed class that is well worth the self-investment, especially if you're trying to up-level in your life. The principles that you'll be able to use will also easily transfer over to other areas of your life, be it health, romance, so forth and so on. I have been working on this course for some time. I have been utilizing these principles in my life. If you trust me on this channel and you connect with me, then you know this course will work with you if you apply yourself. And as well, the companion workbook will be launched and debuting at the same time. So if you decide not to take the course, and I'm working on a fair price for it now, if you decide not to take the course, then you can always get the companion workbook, although less intensive and not as transformational as the course. It is still something that you can use with the course or you can use solo. Anyway, down to digging in about this hair. All right, guys, take a look at me. Now, I am about, I want to say, 4 or 5 weeks from a retightening, which will be about 10 or 11 weeks cycle for me. This is the slowest growth I think I have experienced in many months. Not sure if this is due to me not using my Miracle Grow oils, but I feel like for me not to have had my hair done in about 6 or 7 weeks, maybe longer, my hair would normally be I'd have much more new growth. So what I'm trying to show you right now, after this period of time, I still have a nice looking grid. Still have a great looking grid. Bear in mind, when I first had my Sisterlocks installed, I had some bigger ones up here that I didn't like. My loctician was able to divide those for me so that I could have smaller ones. I myself have gone through in various areas of the front of my head over time and have split some locks. For example, I did these on a video probably 7, 8, 9 months ago. These were one, I split them into two. All right. I have added some because over this period, my hairline is shifting. Isn't that weird? My daughter looked at me the other day and she was like, Mommy, your head is getting smaller. Like, seems like your hair is moving up. And I was like, Sophia, really? You noticed that? I'm noticing that too. I was wondering if it was just me. Guys, this is weird because normally people's hairline is going to be thinning out, right? It's been 8 years. This joker is moving down, which is why I have put in at least 3 more locks up here. Now, because the hair is fine, what I found myself doing, because the hair around my edges grows slower than anywhere else in the head. There's no reason why these should be this short after 8 years. And trust me, this is doing good. This is more recent growth as compared to my other locks. So it grows very slowly, but I needed to create another lock because I have all this finer curly hair that seems to still be growing around the edges. So I just used some hair braiding hair. It was supposed to be human hair, although it doesn't feel like it, but I plaited it and I just added it to this. So up here is somewhere in here is where it starts, because if I leave it like this, it's going to unravel. I dealt with too much unraveling of these finer pieces of my hair over the years, so I'm going to keep this in for as long as it takes. Probably take a few more years. I'm going to keep this in. If I have to take it out and replace it, I will until this locks. But I have done this in 3 places around the crown of my hair. This is another one. You see, now this has grown quite a bit. You can see the knot where I started it, which was initially up here some time ago. So eventually I'll need to do something with this. But I have this in a few places. So my hairline seems to be thickening, and that's a very good thing. What are some other things that I've noticed? At the crown of the back of my head, these are always the shortest. And they're the ones that hold the most residue. You see this? Now, I've taken this out several times over the years. You can tell that I have here, because this part from here to here is actually hair that's been plaited. Because this bunches up, it gets fat, it looks crazy. Oh my gosh, so I take it out. I try to thin the lock out some, because I like my locks to look uniform. The ones at the back don't grow the same. Now, I also have, you see this, and most of us as African-American women have this. You see this hair here around the sides, kind of like this. It's constantly thickening and growing. And so these locks here on the side, each time they get retightened, you see all this loose hair that's here? This is going to have to be added to another lock, and it's going to make that lock thicker, which I don't like. So I would like to actually separate a couple of these. You see how thick this lock looks? It may not look thick to you, but it's thick, and then it thins out here because of some of the other stuff I was doing, like, you know, taking it out and evening it out. But I have a few locks like this. Here is a perfect example. This is a very thick lock, okay? It's twice as thick as many of these in the front. And it's going to get thicker because the hair in here is going to continue to do what it does. So at some point I would like to take this out, but I'm not willing to lose the length. So I probably will leave it alone. Lint issues. Let's talk about lint issues over time. I don't care what anybody tells you. Don't believe them. Your hair will collect lint. Now, some people's hair collects more lint than others. Some of you who don't think your hair collects lint, if you were to take the locks out with a push pin, you would see a lot of lint. You may not see it in your hair at first glance, which means you're one of the lucky ones. Me, I can see it at first glance. I'm constantly battling it. But I think you all may remember, if you've been with this channel for some time, I said I told you some time ago, some months ago, I was going to stop using my miracle oils just for a while. And I was going to see how that impacted my lint. So initially when I stopped using them and I began to be more vigorous with my washings and more thorough and not doing a sloppy job like I've been doing all these years, like really washing maybe 2-3 times, everything became to the surface, and it was really, really obvious. And the less that I used the oil, which you know I had stopped, the more obvious the lint became, because when you put the oil on your hair, it darkens the buildup, and so you don't see it as much. So naturally, when you stop using any kind of products on your hair, you begin to actually see, which is good in one sense because it allows you to address it. But if you're obsessed OCD like me, and you pull out your ends and then you snap off 2 or 3 inches because you get frustrated, then it may be something you want to think again about. But so what I'm seeing now is, for a while my hair felt very dry and I did not like the way it felt. And I was like, okay, how am I going to keep not using my miracle oils? Right now, it's feeling almost like before. Okay, now mind you too, my special shampoo, my little proprietary blend that's on the channel, has oils in it also. So when you think about it, I don't really have to add additional oil, but I did that because it strengthened my hair. It helped it to grow a lot, and I liked the sheen and the soft feel of it. Now, considering the fact that the color has made my hair drier and harder, my hair right now, today, in the last few weeks, has never felt this good. I've colored my hair about 8 or 9 times, you all know, maybe more, back to back. So my hair did get a little bit weaker, especially around the ends that I've noticed. So I said I wouldn't do it anymore, at least for some time. I don't want to do it, even though Sophia, you guys know Sophia, my daughter, who just went natural several months ago with her traditional locks, she colored her hair and it's bright auburn. She just did certain pieces and it's so beautiful, and I want it so bad. I'm trying not to go there. So what I'm saying to you is, with the lint, I am noticing less buildup because I'm using virtually no oil in my hair, except when I shampoo, and maybe once every 6 or so weeks, right in here, just right in here. Because my hair is so healthy in the scalp from years of using my oils, in between washes I never have flaking. I don't have a lot of buildup. Because of those essential oil blends that I would use, it cleanses my scalp, and so I'm really fortunate there. I may continue this for a while, or if I go back to my oils, I will instead use a little bit, maybe a quarter size piece or a 50-cent piece, and just move throughout my hair. So this is my advice to you based on what I've learned, because that oil blend that I gave you on the channel, women are raving about that. It's wonderful. I credit it to the health of my locks in the midst of coloring, in the midst of all of the things that I do with my locks, the constant picking them. Almost every lock in my head has been picked at some point, because I told you all I wanted them nice and even. I didn't do well with the bulging and the bunching stages. I wanted it to look a certain way, and I wasn't satisfied with people telling me when it looked crazy, it was just going to evolve over time. So I needed to influence that evolution. So for me, it's been working out fine. So I'm going to say, for those of you who are using the oil blend from the channel that I gave you, the Miracle Grow oil, use less of it, okay? Then you may be using, if what you're using is working and you wash your hair regularly and you wash it all out, then you're going to be fine. If you do a once over every few days and check for big pieces of lint, you'll be fine. If you take other precautions as it relates to lint, you'll be fine. If you find that it's a little heavy, take the castor oil out, take the almond oil out, and focus on the jojoba oil, which is much lighter and is much more easily absorbed into the hair, and is just not as heavy. So you can consider that as well. But continue using it if it's feeling good for your hair. It will strengthen your hair. It will make your scalp healthy. It will thicken your hair. It's the follicles just love it. The follicles love it. They love it. So anyway, what else have I learned now? Okay. I have picked my hair a lot, hence the different lengths, especially here. I've done a lot more picking up here than back here. I have quite a few uneven ones down here because my hair grows more in the bottom. About 2 weeks ago, I had a really long one, which is this one here because it has a straight edge. I can tell it was about an extra inch long. I clipped it because it just is too uneven, especially when the hair is laying across my back. But I've done a lot of modifying my ends to prevent things like this. You see this? Now, because my hair is so thick and it resists the pattern, and I have a reverse 4, even when I take this out, I'm still going to get something that looks like this. Imagine this 2 times over had I not taken this out and tried to thin it out. So what will happen now is I can loosen this up, go in with a needle, loop it through a few times, and I can actually thin this out some more. Or if it bunches up and turns into a big ball, which it will, I can either massage to thin it out, or I can take it back out and go through the process again. And as I take it back out, I'll lose some hair, so there'll be a natural thinning that will happen until I get to the point that I want it. You see, and that does make a difference. You have to do this on a regular basis. So, my grid still looks good. I have done only one full retightening on my own. I do retighten the edges most of the time now. I've been doing that for the last maybe year and a half, I think, or so consistently, because for me, I believe that the greatest source of trauma as it relates to the Sisterlocks is around this part of your head. And I don't think anybody, or I think very few locticians can be as tender as they need to be. One of mine is pretty tender. She's very tender. The other one is a little more heavy-handed. And I am afraid that over time, there will be a consequence. And I don't want to love my locks, but feel that they are the source of my crown, some receding hair, or some alopecia or something. Trauma over trauma over trauma over trauma over time is going to be a detriment to your locks. So especially if you're getting them retightened very frequently. So I'm telling you to be very, very cautious with that. And if you are turning that over to someone else, you need to make sure prior to going into your retightenings, you need to make sure that you have untangled all of the hair, you've unmarried any fuzzies, you make it as easy as possible, and you remind them that you need them to be extra gentle up in this area. Because what's going to cause the loss is not the result of one retightening. It's going to be multi-retightnings over time. So this is the first part of the video. It's almost at 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop, and I will do a part 2 to get into a little bit more of my 8-year Sisterlock journey. Thank you for joining me. You were Tanisha Ali of Butterfly Transformations, connecting you to the vision of who you truly are. Spiritual mentor, life coach, tarot reader, healer, author, and motivational speaker. You can find my information in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in video 2. All right, I will try to hook up video 2 at the end, so you'll just have to click on it and won't have to really search for it. But then that would mean I'd have to upload them at the same time, which I will try to do. Sending you much love, beautiful butterflies and perfect people. Go out and be abundant. And stay tuned for the daily healing inspirations. Okay, Spirit has messages that are constantly trying to get to you. They can come through people. They can come through things that children say. They can come through your psychologist. They can come through angels that walk amongst us and give us messages. They can come through nature so many ways. They can also come through random pullings of cards that you happen to stumble upon. So don't let any outdated belief systems cause you to believe that there's something wrong with this. This is just a set of cards, okay? People misuse any and everything in this universe. They misuse all things, but don't let that be the reason why you shut yourself off to the flow of wisdom and guidance that may be trying to reach you in any number of ways. And consider the ways that you get your guidance already when it comes externally. Okay, or when it comes internally. Just consider the multitude of ways that guidance is already coming to you when you find a coin outside, or a feather falls, or someone says something that reminds you of a person who was near and dear to your heart. So embrace these daily healing inspirations. When you see one and it catches your eye, just click in, because 9 times out of 10, it has a message for you, okay? I'm sending you much, much love. I'm sending you all the beauty that the universe has to offer to you. I'm sending you wishes and prayers of fulfillment and prosperity into your life, and hoping that you will feel like me in that it's a joy to be alive. What a joy it is to be alive.